Plugins are what draw most people to WordPress. You want it? Chances are there's a plugin for it. But which are the best free WordPress plugins in 2018? Keep watching to find out. For the best blog tech advice, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I publish a new video every Monday. If you're not sure where to start when it comes to WordPress plugins, by the end of this video, you'll have a list of my top 7 essential plugins for your WordPress blog. I have each one of these plugins installed and activated on both of my blogs, and I recommend that all my clients have them too. So let's get stuck in and get them set up on your blog. Okay, so my number 1 must-have plugin for WordPress is Yoast. For most bloggers, we blog so that we can get our content found. And the easiest way to get your content found is via Google and search engine optimization. Now, Yoast is so helpful when it comes to search engine optimization. And I'm going to give you a quick intro to it. I'm here on the Yoast general settings page. I'm going to click on features. And these are all the different features that you can get from the free version of Yoast. There is a premium version, but in my view, you don't really need it. The free version does a pretty good job. As you can see, it does SEO analysis. And you can also get it to generate XML sitemaps, which is a really useful tool, but I'm not going to go into that today. So how does this work when you're writing your blog posts? So I'm going to add a new blog post. And I'm going to call it the best WordPress plugins for 2018. I'm going to save that draft. You'll notice up here in this top right hand corner the readability and SEO scores. They go from red, amber and green as the score improves. Currently there's no available score for SEO, so we're going to scroll down below the text editor for the post and you'll see this big Yoast SEO box. So here we're going to enter our focus keyword, which is going to be best WordPress plugins. I'm now going to save the draft again, and you'll see here the SEO score has now gone from grey, which meant that there were no keywords set, to red, so needs improvement. So I'm going to scroll back down here again and check out this analysis of the SEO for this blog post. So Yoast has picked up that there's no focus keyword in the first paragraph of the copy. Well, that's because there's no copy. There's no meta description which has been specified. The meta description is this bit here. This is the snippets of text that will show when your page is found in Google search results. So ideally you want to make sure you get your keywords in there as well. Text contains no words, obviously because I've not written the post yet, but you can see Yoast recommends a minimum of 300 words. Personally, I don't tend to write blog posts below 800 words, but that's personal preference. It then identifies some improvements and the good results. So if you write a blog post that satisfies all these points that Yoast has raised, then you should be pretty good to go where it comes to search engine optimization. There's also this readability tab here, which gives you suggestions on how to improve your writing, your content as well. Things like making sure there aren't too many long sentences, checking passive voice, and a load of different things. And you should definitely install Yoast and check it out. So next on the list we've got Akismet, which is an anti-spam filter. Here you can see just how many spam comments. It's blocked from my site in the past, since it started in March. So, that's 435 blocked. It's one of those plugins that just works in the background, and you almost forget it's there. It's brilliant. So I'm going to pop over to my comments now and click on spam. You can see that there are 21 spam comments waiting for me to either delete or filter. It just saves me so much time, so I don't have to actually manually go through every comment left on my blog. Akismet just whacks it in here, and I come in and empty it from time to time. So I'm going to select this checkbox at the top here, which selects them all, and just click empty spam. It's literally that simple, and that's why it's up there as one of my top free WordPress plugins for 2018. So next on the list is W3 Total Cache. In my view, every WordPress blog needs a caching plugin. If you're not familiar with caching, it's basically where your browser stores a copy of the files that it needs to display your web page for the next time it loads. So the first time it loads, it takes a little bit longer because it's downloading the files that it needs, but the next time it loads, it already has those files, so it doesn't need to download them again, which makes the page load a lot quicker. So I'm just going to run you through quickly how I have my settings set up for W3 Total Cache. So you can see here, I enable the page cache. I don't use W3 Total Cache for minification because I have another plugin that does that. And I also have the database cache enabled, as well as the object cache and the browser cache. So that's it. W3 Total Cache. So this is one of my absolute favourite WordPress plugins ever. Regular viewers or readers of the Blog Genie will know how much I bang on about backing up your blog. In my view, it's the #1 way to keep your blog secure. And this is an amazing plugin that helps you make sure that your blog is backed up as much as it needs to be. Here is the Updraft Plus dashboard. And you can see if I wanted to, I could back up right now, store a backup, or I could clone or migrate one. I'm not going to do any of those now. This is just showing you what you can do with it. I'm going to click onto existing backups, and I always keep my last 2 backups. And there you can see that I had a backup run 9:20 last night and 9:10 the night before. And view the log if I want. I can choose to restore either of these backups right now. But I want to show you the settings. So here is where you decide how often you want Updraft Plus to back up your blog. There are 2 versions of the backup. There's the files backup and the database. Personally, I always back them both up at the same time so that neither one gets out of sync with the other. So here you can see that I schedule a backup daily, and I always retain 2 scheduled backups. You'll see that I back up my blog using Google Drive. I like to have my backup somewhere handy, and generally, your blog's going to get to a point where it'll be too big to attach the backup file to email. So I wouldn't even consider doing it that way. But you can see that you can back up to your Dropbox, Amazon, Microsoft Azure. You can even do FTP, Microsoft OneDrive. You've got loads of options there of places that you can store your backup. Leave me a comment below with your #1 must-have WordPress plugin. If you like this video, you might also like to watch my introduction to Xtheme for WordPress. Next up is social warfare. I've tried a couple of social media sharing plugins in the past, and I've not really liked them. They tend to be very clunky and heavy, and not that easy to use, and they tend to be a bit temperamental. But then I found Social Warfare, which is, it's pretty basic. It covers the main social media platforms, so Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Google Plus and LinkedIn. So as you can see here, you can drag your buttons around, which order you want them to appear in, and then you can decide whether or not you want to add share counts to your buttons. I like to have my share counts on, and here's where you decide where you want the buttons to be positioned in relation to your content. You can also change styles, decide whether you want decimal places on your sharing counts. Not quite sure why you'd want decimal places, but it's there if you want it. The settings for floating share buttons, just there. And for social identity, so your Twitter handle, your Pinterest username, and your Facebook page URL. And that's pretty much it for Social Warfare. WP Optimize is another one of my favourite plugins, obviously, otherwise it wouldn't be here in this video. It's a really great database cleanup tool. So you can see here all the different optimizations that it can give you. Some of your basic ones like auto draft posts, in options, pingbacks, you name it, this will clear it up. You can see that there's some in red, which perform more intensive database operations. It's just a warning to basically back up before you run any of these optimizations. I know you're probably sick of hearing me say it by now, but always back up before you do anything like that. Well, any updates to plugins or anything like that, but especially if you're going to start optimizing your database. So now you know exactly which plugins you need to give your blog a solid foundation. But what about when you need to take a backup, as and when you need to update your plugins? I've written this step-by-step blog post on how and when to take a backup of your WordPress blog. The link is below. Also, if you need help to get your blog loading faster, check out my totally free 5-day email challenge, where you'll get an email jam-packed full of useful info every day to help your blog load faster. If you like this video, please let me know by liking it below, subscribe and share it with your fellow bloggers. Comment below with helpful if this video helped you, and don't forget to hit the bell to be notified when I publish a new video every Monday.